What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network and channel. Want to give a shout out to the rest of that crew. Shy, Kelvin, Jermaine, Kobe Bryant Film Room, Big Dog, Talk Sports. That's right, that's right. For everyone who's tuning in, I hope that you support Behind the Bench, become a subscriber, and help make this show the best that it can be. And I had to drop this one here. I had to do it. And NBA action last night. The New Orleans Pelicans at home defeated the Toronto Raptors by the score of 138-100. And the game really wasn't close. But the player who really took his game arguably to the highest level, and I realized it was against a lesser opponent. I get all that. But Brandon Ingram, man. Brandon Ingram, better known as B.I., he went off tonight and he unleashed. Now, I know that the NBA has emphasized scoring and officiates the game to achieve that result. And we've seen this scoring explosion. We've seen a lot of players this year so far. We've seen a guy score 70. If I'm not mistaken, that was Joel Embiid. And Devin Booker has had big scoring nights over the past couple of weeks. There's been a lot of players, man, who have scored 50-point games plus or whatnot. But sometimes you can look at a player's performance and you can tell that what they're doing is not predicated on the rules of today. Now, as I always say, I don't compare eras. I don't say one era is better than the next. I don't even get off into all of that. It's about what you do and what you achieve during the time that you played. That's all you can really do. But when I watched Brandon Ingram tonight, his game can translate to the 2000s, the 1990s, the 1980s, the 1970s. Let's just say since the ABA-NBA merger of 1976. And it's because of his ability to dominate in the mid-range game. That's the key. You know, you have a lot of scores. They play off their three-point line. And I get it. That's where the game is today. I get it. But his game is tailor-made for playoff basketball. Now, this year, he's not among the leaders in scoring as far as points per game. But the way the Pelicans are playing this year, they have three guys who can average 20 points a game or more. Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, C.J. McCollum. So they're kind of doing it by committee. And then they have ancillary players who provide additional scoring, game by game. But this guy's, his game is tailor-made for playoff basketball. And if this team is healthy, Zion Williamson, now mind you, Zion Williamson is not competing in the playoffs yet. When the Pelicans reached the playoffs in 2022, facing the number one seed Phoenix Suns, they did that without Zion Williamson. So if the Pelicans, they just have to get in the playoffs. And maybe that's why, they've been sitting out Zion games and whatnot throughout the course of the season. It's cost them games. It has cost them games. Their record should be one that would reflect the fact that they would be a top 3 seeded team in the Western Conference. And if you look at that Western Conference as of right now, you have 2 teams tied for first place in Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then you have 2 teams that are half a game out of first place in the defending champion Denver Nuggets and the red hot Los Angeles Clippers. But this team right here, they have the depth and the versatility. And the way Brandon Ingram played tonight shows why he was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers with the number 2 pick in 2016. 41 points. He scored 3-point shots on 5 straight possessions. And I believe he hit 6 3-pointers in the third quarter alone, which is a franchise record. And to go along with that, he had 9 assists with no turnovers. So it just shows, like, when I look at his game, man, he's like a combo 2-3 wing. I remember someone telling me that his game is like a prototype. Now, Kevin Durant was the player who he patterned his game after. But the player that he could be more of a prototype of is Grant Hill. They both went to the University of Duke. And when that was brought to my attention, I was like, wow, because I never thought about Grant Hill. And I said, yeah, I see that. I see that Grant Hill was 6'8". You know, he was kind of like a combo 2-3 wing. He can attack the basket from the wing and from the perimeter. He had a decent jump shot, but I don't believe his jumper is as sound as Brandon Ingram's. But what he did tonight was special, man. And he had that crowd down there in Smoothie King arena in New Orleans. He had them rocking, man. And it's good to see that as a fan of the Lakers, man. It's awesome to see, but it's bittersweet at the same time. And I'm not going to get off in all of what happened, how he was traded and all that. But, I believe he's a special player. But, when you're not privy to always requesting trades to help you win or stack the deck to oblivion, and, you have to really go out there year by year, go through the struggle, the peaks and the valleys, the obstacles, man. And I really hope that he and the 2 other former Los Angeles Lakers on their team, Larry Nance Jr. and Matt Ryan, I hope they do something special. And if he's able to help deliver a championship down in New Orleans, because, it's not out of the realm of possibility, considering the talent they have down there and the fact that they can continue to build on what they have through the many draft picks they acquired in trades. This is a team right here, if healthy, if Zion Williamson, is peak form come postseason, this team can compete with anybody in the West. Now, of course, they have to go through the experience of winning, generating a deep playoff run, but they just have a tremendous future. And I root for him, man. I really do. But if he's ever able to help deliver a championship down there in New Orleans, which would be the first in franchise history, he will go down in history as such. Just one. Because, like I said, I believe this decade is going to be so competitive. I don't believe we're going to see any one team go to 4 straight finals. That I don't see that happening, because it's already year 2024, and the Denver Nuggets, can they get back to the finals? Can they reach the finals again? It's possible. And if they did so, I give them all the props in the world. But the West is just so freaking wow, man. The two teams sitting at the top of the conference. I'm quite sure many punters didn't see they didn't see that happening, but it has. So that's two additional teams. The Clippers are going for it all. This is their they're relatively healthy. Kawhi Leonard, uh, Paul George, Russell Westbrook is always durable. James Harden, for the most part, has been a durable player throughout his career. Outside that hamstring injury he had after being traded to the Brooklyn Nets. But if they can stay healthy, this could be their golden opportunity to finally break through and win a championship. Sacramento Kings, playoff level team. Dallas Mavericks have Luka and Kyrie Irving. But this Pelicans team, the way they're constructed, it's a team where it's not really about one player. The way a team is built is everybody depends on the role of their teammate in order to, play up to their absolute potential. But I believe they'll peak. They'll start to peak after the All-Star break. But this guy right here, Bi, telling you, if he's going to play like this, not saying he's not going to score 41 points every night, but if he can play off his mid-range game and hit that 3-point with consistency and get to the free throw line, when he attacked the basket, that's a 30-point per game player come postseason. I'm talking about a genuine bona fide 30 points a game. It's not built off of shooting multitude of threes. But that was special to see him do that. And like I said, as a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, like I said, man, the talent. See, I believe what happened was when he was traded, it was probably thought or assumed that Ingram would become no more than maybe, a 20-point per game scorer, something to that effect. No, he's more than that. He's more than that. And, when I watch him play, it's almost like, how can I put this? He doesn't really realize how good he is. So a lot of times he wind up holding back. But if he has that attitude and that mentality, like he ain't taking no prisoners, people will back off of him. And like I said, I root for him, man. Like I said, I root for all the original young core of the Los Angeles Lakers. But for tonight, Brandon Ingram, man, he shined in a major way, showing people, who he is. So the spotlight is on Bi, and a performance like that, he may earn Player of the Week honors. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to drop there real quick. Again, Brandon Ingram. Let's see, 41 points, 9 assists, 6 3-pointers with 0 turnovers. So he was totally locked in, and it was a sight to see. But I just want to drop that nugget. Until next time, this is JB for BTB Behind the Bench.